This is part one of breaking down the founding stories behind our favorite products and things that we find really interesting, starting with number one, Tamagotchi. So I was curious on what the story behind Tamagotchi was, because out of nowhere, all of a sudden, everyone had these little egg-shaped devices that you had to care for 24/7, that required you to feed it. It would beep randomly. It could misbehave. It could get sick. It could die. And it would mess with our emotions. I always remember what I hated waking up and my Tamagotchi was dead. So I was curious on what the story behind it was. And this is the story. There was a Japanese toy designer named Aki Maida. So she pitched the idea of a virtual pet, a digital creature that lived in your pocket, responded to how you cared for it, needed to be fed and nourished. And in the beginning, everyone laughed. They're like, how are you going to bond with a digital virtual pet that's not real? But Bandai said, yes, we are all over it. And when they released the Tamagotchi in Japan in 1996, it exploded. So where Tamagotchi really nailed the mark was that they made a toy that wasn't just a toy, it was a responsibility. I mean, it depended on you to survive, to eat, and if you neglected it, it died. So when they launched the first Tamagotchi in late 1996, there were two marketing levers that they pulled that worked really well with this idea of having a product that was a responsibility. The first was that they launched with intentional scarcity. So they didn't just make it openly accessible. It wasn't available everywhere. It would do limited supply drops, create instant demand, and parents were rushing to stores to try to find one of these so that their kids could have it. And then the second lever goes back to the design of the product. They designed the product with an emotional hook. I mean, everyone felt bonded to their Tamagotchi. I remember crying in my parents' bathroom over the time that I woke up and my Tamagotchi had died while I was asleep. It felt personal, and every experience was unique and catered to how we as individuals interacted with the product. And that combination of selling a product to kids that had scarcity and that had emotion behind it created one of the most viral products in the world. All right, this is where I nerd out over this stuff, but just in closing, Tamagotchi is an absolute masterclass at how to build a company. They had the perfect mix of creating a product that had emotional ties, connection, dependency, and then a product that had just an immediate viral growth strategy, right? To sell 80 million copies in your first year and a half of a little digital virtual pet, they just nailed it. Created a product that solved a real problem for people, especially kids. Parents loved seeing their kids happy, and so they'd go to the store to buy one. They'd do anything to try to find one of these. They created a product that had the emotional dependency and connection through ownership over it. And then because of that, now anytime that we see this, right, in our generation, we look back and immediately feel that nostalgia pull. And anytime we see this, it reminds us of our childhood, of the good things that we were able to do with this little $25 keychain virtual pet. Tamagotchi absolutely nailed it. One of my favorite companies from my childhood, just underneath Pokemon. But they absolutely killed it, love it. And that's the story of Tamagotchi.